Hello again. I am here with part 2 of my June book haul, and I'm going to be calling this my Second and Charles Paperback Horror book haul. And these are the books I got from Second and Charles. Just so you know where I am, I figured out that I'm probably going to be doing 3 more book hauls. I have a hardback horror book haul, my regular YA middle grade book haul, and a miscellaneous book haul with a couple of books that I don't think fit any of those categories. Let's just get to this book haul and some of these interesting books. So the first one I got here, I got for free. It was in the Second and Charles free bin. So it is supposedly a true story book called Satan's Children, Shocking True Accounts of Satanism and Multiple Personality Disorder. So I'm not sure about it, what kind of book it's going to be, but since it was free, I decided to pick it up. Next book is called Vampiric. Can't really see it with the sticker on the cover here, but it was only $1. Obviously a vampire book. It says, Leppington is a small town, quiet and unassuming, yet beneath its streets terrifying creatures stir. Driven by an ancient need, united in their burning hunger, they share an unending craving. They are vampires. They lurk in the dark in tunnels and sewers, but they come out to feed. For untold years they have remained hidden, only seen by their unfortunate victims. Now the truth of their vile existence is about to be revealed, but will anyone believe it, and is it already too late? So there's that one. Then here's a really cool cover for another $1 book, which is called Bring Me Children. So you look at that one. In the recesses of a hidden cave in West Virginia, a newborn baby cries in the blackness. In the cool shadows of a doctor's office, a blind man laughs, subjecting a once beautiful woman to the ultimate degradation. In a lone cabin in the woods, a man falls in love with a mysterious woman and promises to do anything for her, even unbury the dead. Marked by rare psychological intrigue and raw, gut-wrenching power, David Martin's Bring Me Children is his most tantalizing creation yet. John Lyon, a fallen network anchorman now grasping for his sanity, has come to West Virginia and into the drama of a torture and innocence. A handsome blind doctor in a pinstripe suit is the living embodiment of human evil, and Lyon must find out how much he can endure to expose the unbearable truth. Next one is another John Ferris book called Dragonfly. This one says, Abelard, blindingly, beautifully, fabulously wealthy, is the hottest selling romance writer in America. Dr. Joe Bryce is a dedicated physician who may also be the handsomest man ever to grace the sands of Abby's beach. But he has a frightening past he can never outrun. Since she met him, Abby's life has turned upside down. Friends are proving to be brutal enemies, and enemies terrifying friends. Is John Bryce's past catching up with her? So we'll check that one out. Another vampire book. There are a bunch of vampire books actually this month. This one is called Cathedral of Vampires. They live among us unnoticed. They always are unnoticed. They amuse themselves with our suffering. They survive on our blood. They are vampires. Among the most infamous and powerful of these creatures is the notorious Marquis de Sade. His perverse and unholy desire still unquenched after 2 centuries. But his offspring, vampires of his own making, have hungers and desires of their own. And one of the strangest is the need for revenge. From California to Paris, from underworld clubs to ruined cemeteries, an eternally young woman and her half-vampire companion will stop at nothing to find Sade and put an end to the master vampire's reign. But as they will discover, there is more than one type of vampire, and killing any of them is never easy. Should be good. Then I got 2 Jonathan Mayberry books. I've never read Jonathan Mayberry, but one is Bad Moon Rising and Dead Man's Song. Both of these were in the free bin, so I figured I might as well pick them up. Let's see. Dead Man's Song says, Evil endures. Once an idyllic Pennsylvania village, Pine Deep awoke one morning to find itself bathed in a massive bloodletting. Twice in 30 years, the townfolk have endured the savage hunger of a murderous madman. But if the residents think the death of a serial killer, Carl Ruger, put an end to the carnage, they're wrong. Bodies mutilated beyond description, innocents driven to acts of vicious madness. A monstrous evil is preying on the living and the dead, and turning the quiet town into hell on earth. Their only hope is to find a source, but the secret that lurks in the hearts of Pine Deep are twisted into its very roots. This time, the townspeople aren't just frightened for their lives, but for their very souls. Sounds good. Next one, Bad Moon Rising. A new master of terror reigns supreme, and in his most horrifying novel yet, the clash between good and evil explodes in an apocalyptic showdown. Few will survive. Each year, the residents of Pine Deep, again, it's Pine Deep, the residents of Pine Deep host a Halloween festival, drawing tourists and celebrities from across the country to enjoy the creepy fun. Those who visit the small Pennsylvania town are out for a good time, but those who live there are desperately trying to survive. For a monstrous evil lives among them, a savage presence whose malicious power have grown too powerful even for death to hold it back. Only a handful of brave souls stand against the king of the dead and a red wave of destruction. Daylight is fading and a bad moon is rising over Pine Deep. Keep watching the shadows. I wonder if these are connected. Of course, another vampire book. This is, I can't even read this, The Vampire Virus. I can't even read it because of the damn stickers. But this is The Vampire Virus. Again, another dollar book. So, the mysterious death of an archaeologist lures disease control researcher Dr. Bailey Harrison deep into the jungles of Costa Rica. There, in the hot zone, an unknown and potentially devastating new virus has made its first lethal appearance. Yet a more horrifying evil awaits Bailey at the end of her quest. For in a lavish estate carved from savage wilderness, an extraordinary man rules, the master of a forbidden world, and he himself is a slave to a centuries-old hunger. Okay, 4 more. Next one is Forbidden Garden. This one says journalist Patrick Kaiser comes to Nantucket to forget his crushing divorce. Late one night, haunting sobs float across the garden from the house next door. Curiosity draws him to investigate, and quickly, irrevocably, he is entangled in the shocking lives of a darkly mysterious family. Julian Ferrara, acclaimed conductor, what powerful, unnatural hold does he have over his terrified wife and child? Julian's gorgeous young wife, Francesca, why does she endure her husband's tyranny? What unspeakable secret tortures her every waking moment? Julian's volatile sister, Elsie? Are the voices in her head harmless fantasy, or will she listen and follow their violent beckoning? The Ferrar children, Hildy and Christian? Is the attic their sanctuary or their prison? Will they ever escape their legacy of terror? Kaiser vows to protect the children from the growing evil in their home, but as each new horror unfolds, he is wrapped tighter and tighter in the family's twisted web of heated desire and stark fear, a web soon to be torn apart by the slash of a knife and the sound of a scream. This sounds interesting. Kind of reminds me of kind of like a Flowers in the Attic type of story, so I'm not sure the horror element of this, but I picked this one up. Next one is another 90s or 80s book, I believe. This is 91. This is Let's Pretend You're Dead. I love these titles. Let's Pretend You're Dead. It was a chase of a lifetime for Mary Hendrick, an aspiring actress. There could be no better honor than studying with the famous Lily Weiss. So when the old German film star offers her personal instruction, Mary can't help but say yes, even if it means being in isolation with her for 2 long months of intensive training. But from the moment they arrive at the secluded Tennessee mansion, Mary begins to notice some disturbing things about her kindly mentor. Behind her thick theatrical makeup, the old lady is hiding something more than the hideous scars that ended her career. And as she leads Mary through a series of terrifying psychological exercises, the young actress soon learns there is more than madness to the old woman's method, and that her first curtain call may be her last. Next 2 are supposedly non-fiction, but this one was interesting. This is In a Dark Place. This is the true story of a true haunting from Ed and Lorraine Warren and Carmen and Al Schneider, written by Ray Garton. So this is one of those Conjuring characters books, you know, way before The Conjuring actually existed. So this is one of the true story books from 92. I'm interested in that one. And the last one is kind of weird. I'm not really sure what the deal is this, but this is called Amityville, The Evil Escapes. Now, this says it's nonfiction. This is from the writer, I guess, of the Amityville Horror. So I'm not sure, not the actual people who were in the Amityville Horror, but the person who actually wrote the Lutz's story. And it talks about these things that were left behind in the house that got sold. And then the people who buy these things, I guess weird things happen to them. Now that sounds like an interesting story, but once they labeled the non-fiction element, I'm not sure how interesting it's going to be. It reminds me of the Friday the 13th TV series. I don't know if you guys remember that with the cursed objects. Since I saw it, I decided It was, I believe this was another free book. So for free, I figured I'd give it a shot. So that is Amityville, The Evil Escapes. That's my list of books for my paperback horror books. And I still have 3 more book hauls to do. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.